Hello, friends. Here I am, sometimes known as Cannibal Sam, because I eat a lot of people. I don't really eat people. I'm lying when I say that. I'm telling a terrible, vicious lie. I don't really eat people. So I shouldn't say that I do. I'm taking credit from those who actually do eat people. I'm delegitimizing their experience. Well, I know this much. Jordan Peterson and I are in agreement that framing a question in terms of are all white people racist is a bad way to frame it. We're in agreement on that. But that was so weak. You know, what is he doing so weak there? You know why he fails? Because what I have mastered, go ahead. Yeah. What I have mastered is an important skill. In order to avoid weak-ass philosophy like that, you have to be strong as ox, supple as noodle. And that's what I finally, it was like a light bulb came on. Right before I started this stream, I realized all of life needs to be explained through oxen and noodles. If you have any idea and you can't convert it into an oxen and noodle based explanation, then you haven't really done anything. You really haven't said or done anything. Because people aren't enabled to understand things except via the most concrete of all symbols, the ox and the noodle. Everybody knows what a noodle is. And everyone knows what an ox is, even if they don't speak any words at all and they're a brand new baby, newborn infant. If you say to them, ox, noodle, those two words I do understand. Even if you're a fresh newborn baby, straight from mama's vajayjay. Flow state, this is the best video title, thank you. Yeah, it's important to be strong as ox, supple as noodle. Rachel and I were discussing how fortunate it is today that she's never had any children, because she was saying she experiences even like a little bit of menstrual cramps is like super annoying. And I said, yeah, well, I mean, also having babies tears up your puss, you know? Totally tears it up. I can never deliver half the pounding to you that having a baby will. No matter how hard or vigorously I try. I can never pound that puss in any way, shape, or form comparable to having a baby. Yeah, that's awful. I would not want to. You know, as I've mentioned before, during my child's birth, the doctors had to walk away from my wife and come check to make sure I was okay, because I kind of like sort of fainted but didn't fall down. Like I was kind of like, one second I was looking to see what was going on, and the next second I was several feet away and people were around me. You don't want to see that moment, really. It's not a precious, beautiful thing. It's, oh my God, what is this thing that's happening? This not be good for her. This is not good for the person on this table here. That doesn't fit out of that.
You made you concluded correctly.
Yeah. Somebody needed to design this thing better, because
they really do.
That object coming out of that slit doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
I wasn't embarrassed so much as I was surprised by it, I guess. It was like, it never occurred to me that I might be squeamish in the process of going through the childbirth, because it's not something that people had ever talked about before. You always heard about like the beauty of being in there and shit. It's just like, I never really heard anybody say, watch out, it's a kind of messy, ugly process, you know? Mm-hmm. It was always, you hear people say, oh, it's so beautiful being there when my child was born. And I'm glad I was there. I am glad I was there in the room. But, no, it was not beautiful. The idea that it was a beautiful process or something is just, you have to be completely tardy.
It used to be fairly common that the woman would die.
Yeah, well, that's why any usage of a woman after a third child was considered playing with house money. Yeah, you're expected to have to go through several wives to populate your family with sufficient offspring. Yeah, you're lucky if you get a woman that can pop out 12, 14 kids without any problem.
Oh my gosh, just that amazes me.
Just be glad, human women, that you aren't cats or dogs. You only have to usually give birth to one of them, unless there's occasionally two, but unless somebody went nuts with the fertility treatments, it's rarely any more than two. Cat might have to give birth to like 8 or 9 babies all at once.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of babies. That's
Baby
like Octomom.
And Baby has a 8 or 9 baby life-free life. She has it good.
Octomom wouldn't make the papers. That didn't make the kitty newspapers, right? The cats were just like, we're not impressed by Octomom. That's like standard operating procedure around here.
Yeah. It is.
You know what question I don't hear asked frequently enough is the question, whatever happened to Octomom?
You never hear that.
You don't. I'm curious, whatever happened to Octomom?
Octomom.
Taylor, are you panicking enough about the recent solar ejecta? It's kind of miss Earth. It's really huge, though. Yep. It is. And it's also going to miss Earth. 12,000-mile long canyon of fire shooting into this space. Yeah, but it's not aimed at us. Do we need to be so alarmed in the titling of our space articles? They always try to trick you. Massive asteroid hurtling towards Earth. And then when you look at the article, fortunately, the asteroid will pass 284 million miles away from Earth. Okay, then hurtling towards Earth should not have been your title for this, okay? Well, I'm complaining about astronomy articles. They always do this shit. They put their title like massive sunspot ejection hurls coronal matter into space, launching X-class coronal event. Well, okay. An X-class coronal event is normally used in the context of it hitting Earth and how bad that would be or something, you know. But they bury the fact that it's not actually going to be even close to causing any problem until the very end of the article, after they've used a bunch of like sleight of hand gestures towards alarm, without actually saying it directly, and then okay, you astronomers, come on. You're supposed to be astronomers. Can you do a better job of journalism, please? It's ridiculous. And because it's all sciencey and stuff, they think that they can just couch their statements so that they're not saying yeah and no one's gonna notice or something. I noticed, space.com, I noticed, okay? I noticed, and you're not the first astronomy website to do this. I read a lot of astronomy articles, but you're the one who got caught on today when I'm making a video about it. So, shame on you, space.com. Shame on you, other astronomy things that like to hype up the fact that you spotted a new asteroid by putting the title that somehow is related towards landing on Earth, even though it definitely isn't. Just stop doing that.
Oh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I would get worried if I read something like that without having you to tell me that it's not coming towards us.
Yeah, but sure, they never said that in the article. It never said it's not hitting Earth. It said we can expect to see some auroral increases in certain regions, and it said basically it'll arrive at Earth's orbit at this time, but it didn't say where Earth would be in its orbit. Like, oh my God, why are you guys being so gay? I don't claim to be some sort of astrophysicist or anything. It's just a casual hobby interest of mine. I like astronomy stuff. I like to read astronomy articles. So, I mean, who are they going after with this kind of shit anyway? So, okay, it's clickbaity, but people who are interested in that kind of article, they probably aren't going to be fooled by that thing, you know?
No.
Well, I mean, actually, I've read so many of those articles. I guess, the thing is, I'm not fooled when I read it. I'm just drawn in by the title enough to click it anyway. Because I think, well, maybe this time it's not bullshit.
That's why people click it.
That's so wicked of them. Why are you doing that? Because you're really alienating your audience if you're doing shit like that. Because your audience is smart enough. If your audience is smart enough to read all the shit that you put in there about it traveling at this rate of speed and from picked up by these telescopes to this point, and blah, 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 then surely they're smart enough to see through your weaselly bullshit. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Not everybody can see through weaselly bullshit, like Rachel was just indicating. It's not necessarily obvious to people who I guess, aren't debate coaches.
Yeah.
It's kind of I'm displaying a bit of the other side of Dunning-Kruger, where if you're an expert on something, you assume the base level of knowledge of other people is much higher than it is. Well, Lady Lou DeFay, you're changing who you are on me. Lou DeFay, now I'm confused. You're only allowed to have one name. I'm changing your name to Kevin. I'm taking my lesson from Tiffany and I'm changing your name to Kevin. Anyhow, I watched my Sedaris apartment tour. It was ugly AF. I think any users in general have terrible taste with visuals. Yes, I agree with you. I don't know about any users in general. I think ENTPs, I think my weakness with visual aesthetics is not specific to me. I think it's common to ENTPs because we're non-visual by nature, we're verbal by nature, and we're ideationally diverse and, I guess you'd say, disparate. We seek that which is disparate. So if you take that approach with visuals, though, you just end up with, somebody vomiting a color palette onto stuff. I like loud, bright colors. Oh, you didn't like being called lady? Lou DeFay. Alright, well. Whatever. I'll call you Indeterminate Lou. You know, I'm a lady, so. Right?
Yeah, you've had many lady lives, right?
Well, no, I'm a very special lady because a special lady is not gender specific. Everybody who's very important for some reason is a very special lady. That's true of, like, my dad's a very special lady, even though he isn't endowed with a vagina.
You're definitely a very special lady.
Yeah. And Moitertons, my male cat, he was a very special lady.
Aww.
Even though he's male. William is a very special lady.
William is a very special lady.
As is Lilu, but Lilu might be an actual lady.
Yeah, we're not sure.
We're not sure about Lilu. But the point is this. When you're important, you deserve this song. Oh, you're a very, 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 very special lady. You're a very, 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 very special lady. As I've checked all the documentation I can find, and I've discovered you're a very special kind of lady. Oh, yes, you are. That's the Very Special Lady song. I've sung it to most of my family members at some point. Meaning, like, my dog. But it was originally the lady whose ladyhood manifested the song was my dog Lacey. She was the original recipient of that song.
Oh.
But I will tell you this: I generalized it out. She's not the exclusive owner of that song. The important thing is, to become a special lady, or very special lady, I need to check all the documentation I can find and determine you're a very special kind of lady. Oh, yes, you are.
I think the solar flare, was it, is coming towards us because it's pretty damn hot out.
It is hot. It does feel like 12,000 miles of solar flare. You know what? I should have titled this live stream maybe History's Greatest 13 Seconds of Media. Because of all the shorts that I've made, I don't think it's published quite yet. Maybe it will. Maybe it just published. I'm not sure. My absolute favorite thing maybe I've ever made, even after watching it many times, it did publish, is Dolphin Boy. Dolphin Boy is a perfect 13 seconds of media. Yes, it is. And I will tell you now, I will share you the link to it, if I can. The clock steps back into a defensive position. Oh my god, it is like a mile hour, man. Carry me to shore, Dolphin Boy. Like, this is, okay, I should just be able to do the following thing. I should just submit this short to the MacArthur Genius Grant Foundation, and they should immediately give it to me. Because that's the kind of genius they should be supporting.
Yeah.
Not some stupid ass, not my typologies that can help humanity. They should be supporting somebody who makes Dolphin Boy.
They should be.
The whole world should. That should be the most popular video in the history of mankind because it's the greatest video in the history of mankind. The Carrington event was the most intense geomagnetic storm in recorded history, peaking from 1 to 2 September 1859 during solar cycle 10. It created strong auroral displays that were reported globally and caused sparking and even fires in multiple telegraph stations. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
You think it directly affected their mood or only indirectly? Do you think that energy from the sun coming down in the form of geomagnetic storms has a physical impact on mood? No. In fact, I was going to make a video about that soon. I was going to reread the email and point out, like, it says this stuff right here. Here's what I did. What did I do wrong? Why haven't I heard back from them yet?
I know.
Because I reread that email again and again and again now, and it's very clear that I'm supposed to click apply now, but it doesn't take me to anything that looks like an application that I can tell. But I said, okay, well, this is the email I received in the part where I could say stuff. It said this. I would like to do this thing that it said, and I'm not sure how, and I'm not really sure what this is, actually, to be honest. And I haven't heard anything back. So maybe they're busy, though. It's possible that they sent out like a bunch of those yesterday or something, or a couple days ago, and now they're catching up with the ones they sent out. I don't know. Who knows? Who fucking knows with YouTube? That's the bottom line. You never know. You never know what's going on with YouTube. It's like a mystery of mysterious mystery.
It is.
And I went through and I checked my spam folder. I made sure I didn't not see it somehow. Pretty sure that's not the case. I'm pretty sure I didn't not see it somehow. Sometimes that happens when Gmail like sticks a thread, and like sometimes that happens, but I'm pretty sure it didn't happen here. So I don't know what to say about it. But yeah, I was planning on making a video presenting it to the community and saying, what do you think's going on here? Did I mess it up somehow?
Yeah.
Did they send the wrong guy this email? Or, it's like, what's going on? Regardless, what's going on is the numbers keep going up, up, up. So, I mean, not rocketing up, but, a couple days ago, I was stoked when we were getting 15,000 a day. Now I'm stoked a couple days later we're getting 20,000 a day views. And I was stoked the other day because we were going to hit, I thought, 200 subscribers before the end of the month. Well, now it's looking like we're going to hit 300 before the end of the month. And that's all in, less than 28 days here of posting these things. Most importantly, though, no matter what else happens, I need to make sure that every single human being in the world watches Dolphin Boy. If I can accomplish that, I will die happy. Because Dolphin Boy is my finest work. The finest work I've ever done in my life is Dolphin Boy. Greatest 13 seconds of my artistic career. The only successful 13 seconds of my artistic career. I feel totally satisfied with that piece of art right there. I finally did it. I finally made something that I feel totally satisfied with. And it's Dolphin Boy.
It should be Dolphin Boy.
I can't think of ever, I don't think I've ever said that before. I feel completely 100%, no doubt, no hesitation, no whatever, satisfied, delighted, enamored, thankful of that 13-second video. I have no qualifications, nothing to say except that is my favorite 13 seconds I've ever made. It's perfect. In every way, shape, and form, it's perfect. You know, I'm saying this about Dolphin Boy after having made now, it's over, I think we're over 300 of them. But I liked a lot of them before. But when it happens to hit, and you get every little thing right, it's not really possible in art unless you're dealing with a super small time frame. Like maybe if your art piece is only 13 seconds long, maybe you can get it all to hit perfect. But the longer something is, the more chance there has for just the slightest little imperfection here or there, whatever. Yeah. And so, most important thing in all of human history is that everybody watch that video. Because then they too will understand that it is possible, although extremely unlikely and only happens after 9 years and many thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of failure, you can luck into 13 perfect seconds. It's possible.
That's so hopeful.
It is hopeful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, everybody needs to see that video for one of multiple possible reasons. Either because they'll appreciate how hilarious it is. Number two, because they're wrong aesthetically and need to see it and think about how, since I don't find this absolutely fantastic, what am I not understanding correctly? And number three, because it shows how perfect things are scale dependent, you know? An atom has a lot better chance of being perfect than a molecule has a better chance of being perfect than a organ has a better chance of being perfect than a, you know. the higher in scale you get, the more meagity there is with your things are less, with physical objects and biologies, things are less clearly defined. God, this bong is freaking...
Oh, keeps on kissing you.
It's this goddamn thing.
Oh.
I don't know. Or maybe it's this weed or... It's always clogging. And then it pops through all of a sudden.
Oh,
it's not like
I
a
hate that.
gradual one, you know?
Yes. I'm gonna lie down.
Alright, I love you. I got a typing session anyway, so. You go lie down.
Thanks.
And I will go buy clowns. So, right. What is saying? Many reasons why everyone in the world needs to see Dolphin Boy. Because the other thing is, it teaches us so much about why hilarity is the ultimate goal in life. Because if you can attain hilarity, it renders everything else moot. You know? It really does. It's one of the few things in life that can be perfect. Even. Of course, humor ages less well than other things, so you can't bear repetition of humor over and over and over again the same way that you can like a song, which you might even become more fond of. But good humor done well has a much longer shelf life than bad humor. So, for example, last night I watched some SNL skits. I showed Rachel a couple of old SNL skits that I remember from back in the day that I used to watch it with my friend Dave Porter on Saturday nights here in my family room. He'd come over, we'd be able to stay up late because it was Saturday night, and that's during a certain age period anyway. I don't remember exactly what age it was. We'd watch Saturday Night Live every Saturday night. And it was a time period that had Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey, Martin Short, Kevin Nealon, Victoria, whatever her name was, and that other lady. Anyway, I don't know. The point is, and it had John Lovitz. So, one of the skits that I showed her that I remembered from back in the day was Toonces the Driving Cat. Now, and then afterwards, I did a little pontificating about the nature of comedy and stuff. Because Toonces the Driving Cat is quite hilarious. And it's very obvious to me that Steve Martin came into Saturday Night Live with this concept and they executed it. I can't see it any other possible way. It absolutely reeks of Steve Martin. Fantastic humor. So, but the whole skit, ultimately, is a simple joke that's expanded into a slightly more extended, but still just a simple little short skit, right? Which is this. Here's the joke. You know that my cat, Poonces, can drive? Really? Yeah. Let's go for a drive. Okay. Hey, your cat's driving really well. Watch out, Poonces. Ah! I thought you said your cat could drive. Well, he can. He just can't drive very well. That's the whole joke, okay? He took a punchline, basically, which is, you told me your cat could drive. He can. Then why did we crash? Well, he just doesn't drive very well. That was his original joke, in some sense of the word. But he conceptualized it for Saturday Night Live, and it's great, But it made me realize how much I've been influenced by that era of stuff as well, by those comedians and shit they did, because it was immediately evocative for me of one of the shorts that I made that said, in which it goes like this. Oh my God, what a weird looking cat. Me Sasquatch, no cat. You feel like a cat. Sasquatch named Sasquatch. What a weird name for a cat. Sasquatch, what a weird name for a cat. So, it's a kind of a similar construction of a joke, right? And then, another one, and then I had another one of mine too. I've lost it from my mind. Another example that I had. Well, regardless. So, note though that Dolphin Boy is not of that category of thing. Dolphin Boy is better than that. Dolphin Boy is NI magic. it's better than anything I can normally ever do. Dolphin Boy is like okay, Jeremiah, that's awful and depressing. Okay, that really freaking knocked me off my flow. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, right. So, Dolphin Boy is like, it's like the expression vaginal blood sploosh splash party. It's inherently funny. The Dolphin Boy thing is just Tiffany saying, oh my god, like I've never heard before. Like, oh my god, it's like the most I've ever been, or something like that. And then she says to the fox that's standing next to her, you know, Dolphin Boy, carry me ashore, or something like that. The point is, there's no joke to tell, right? The reason it's so fantastic has nothing to do with, and everything to do with, the concept at all. It's like, everything's delivered, timed, and matched up perfectly with the emotions of the person, and the voice acting is just right, and it just hits. Another one that's like that is when Sasquatch complains and goes, lately human coming for us, clap stick together, howl like wolf, keep Sasquatch awake all hours. The thing is, the reason that's funny is because of the two words at the end, all hours. It's, you know, somebody's gonna say, they're keeping me awake all hours of the night. It's very, like, prissy or whatever. And it's a very kind of idiomatic expression in a sense. But especially the abbreviated version of it, leaving off the of the night, right? So that's not a joke that's funny because it's a joke with a punchline. Like, that's a great name for, that's a weird name for a cat. That's a joke with a punchline that has a construction like Toonses does, right? Whereas the one about keep Sasquatch up all hours is reliant on, instead, our NI understanding of how language works and the delivery being perfect and the timing being perfect. That one I didn't nail it that well as I did, you know, like, so it didn't qualify as a Dolphin Boy, but it came out pretty good. So, is histrionic personality disorder real? I mean, probably, but I'm not sure how they really distinguish it from, say, other, how would they distinguish it from BPD? I've seen BPD people behave as histrionic personality disorder is described, but I'm not sure why they have BPD and not histrionic or not vice versa. I'm not sure what the distinction is. Oh, fibromyalgia? Yeah, that's called psychosomatic illness. I've got psychosomatic illnesses. Fibromyalgia. It's a word made up to describe a thing that has no other bits of identity. What's it talking about exactly? We don't know. What for sure? Well then why do you have a name for it? We don't know that anymore. Yeah, you don't know what it is, and why you have a name for it. Well, Ozzy Osbourne, let me tell you something. I am a huge fan of Ozfest. Just want to let you know. But secondly, I am a 784, which is called the Curb Surfer. I get a cool name. I surf curves, and in fact, it's accurate for me. That name, and Enneagram is useful in sort of taxonomy and FI, you know. But the problem with the tri-types is most tri-types don't get a cool name, and it matters a lot. Gentle Positivist is good. That's not a bad name. But I mean, which would you rather be, Oz? Would you rather be Curve Surfer or Gentle Positivist? Gentle Positivist is 794, and so she and I are quite close to each other in our numbers, aren't we? Wasn't the Curb Surfer one of the Fantastic Four? I can no longer answer questions like that. I just can't at all anymore. I'll try to rhyme my answers to your questions. How about that? We have a 784, she's a net 794, and together we make a 7 and 8.5 4. You were sure Rachel was something like 4'9", yeah, rather than 7? I guess she could be a 4'9". I guess she could be a 4'7'9", maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure how you. I'm not sure exactly how 4. I mean, it's true she's not high achieving. I think she links kind of weakly to 2 more than. I mean, she's not very helpful. But she's helpful to me. I mean, like, she tries to help. She wants to be helpful. Sort of. But maybe not, though. I don't know. I think Wendy Whippets is a 7 myself. I think she's a 7. If you knew how many whippets she did, you'd think she was a 7 too. Rachel's always blowing bombers, dude. And like, it's funny, earlier in the car, Rachel's like, see a typing session this evening, huh? Like, what time is it again? And I said, yeah, we get whippets. I wish it had played out like that. I knew immediately that's what she was asking. She was saying, like, do we have time? Can we afford? Can whatever? Should we get whippets? Can we get? Let's go get whippets. She wasn't saying can we. She was saying let's go get whippets. So that was like, well, she just, and then she finished her half of them, but I don't really like them as much as she does. So I'm not fiendy about them really. So I like, yeah, just have mine have to. She'll do most of the box, you know. No problem. That's why they call her Wendy Whippets. She's on her vaginal blood sploosh splash party right now, so she's inside resting, not really feeling like doing a lot of work on stuff, I'm sure, because she's got her vaginal blood sploosh splash party. And so I'm stating this as a precursor to me playing this song, and you're gonna say, well, when are we gonna get Rachel's vocals on this, Eric? Well, soon. It's a high priority. I want to get it done, but it's also the case that if it's going to come out good, Rachel's got to be feeling good and in the mood for it too and stuff. And so now is definitely not that time, because she's got uteral lining flowing forth from her as part of a larger vaginal blood sploosh splash party discharge related event. Just to be concise and clear about it. That wasn't very concise, Eric. Oh, hush now. Let's not argue and bicker about every little bit of detail of something. Ain't no reason. Ain't no mountain high enough. You know what I'm saying? There simply ain't no mountain that is high enough to stop me from attaining my goal to become the world's first person to not have a goal. It's almost impossible, because if I do attain it, then I acknowledge that I had it in the first place. If I don't attain it, then that means I have a goal. So you can see how troublesome this reality is for me, and how much of my, I guess you could say, ontological energy it saps. It saps the ontological energy from me like a syrup sapping sap syrup stab tree stabbing device for the purpose of syrup extraction inside of a syrup filled tree. How many syrups Klaus, are you serious, dude? That's so funny that somebody would know that. That's great. I just googled ox, dude. I took the one that looked like that was the right size and quality of picture that I wanted, not so much. I didn't check to see if it was actually an ox. I mean, I couldn't tell the difference. Maybe other people can. The Highland cow is your spirit animal? Is it very different from an ox? Does it wear a kilt? Is that the main difference? Anybody here watch XQC? You mean the Extreme Queefing Channel? No, that's gross. I don't want to watch the Extreme Queefing Channel. Thanks, Karma Pen, but I'm glad to see that you two didn't blink at the notion that that was an ox, even though apparently it's not. But I will tell you this, it's within the first 5 or 6 results under Google Images for the word ox. If you just type into Google Images OX, you will get that picture pop up as one of your first 5 or 6 pictures. And you'll say, ooh, that one looks nice. And then you'll right click it and say open link in new tab. And then it'll say WBEP file. And you'll be like, oh, fuck no. No, you will not deny me my access to this image, you fucks. And then you will open the snipping tool, and you will draw a little rectangle around the picture that you want to, and then you will snip it and save it as a PNG. And then you will raise both your middle fingers to the screen and say, take that, whatever newspaper that was I got that from. Now I've got your picture of this knot ox. And I'm going to okay, well, I don't know how to do that and never have. Or if it's easier than what I'm doing, then fine. If it's harder than what I'm doing, then no. Yeah, female oxes are called oxianas. What is the distinction between an ox and a cow? One has two letters and the other three. Wow, it seems obvious to me. The only thing common is an O. Okay. I've got to run away. I've got to go away very soon, because I have a typing session at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna type Chris time at 5 o'clock this time. I'm gonna type Chris time, yeah. Chris time, yeah. I'm gonna type her all I type out. Gonna Chris some time and type her. Oh, typing time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Type Chris time. At 5 p.m. I've got to type Chris time. Time. Chris time. No, it's. Can you imagine, like, like, there was like, you know, you're a really good therapist. You should do it in front of everybody where we can all watch that person's pain. Well, some people view their typology sessions more like confidentiality. Hey, this is, yeah, and some people don't. So, if I let it be up to them. Basically, people just if I publish, it's because the person wants to. If they ask me if I want to, I will tell them the truth, which is depends. I mean, it's never no, but it's varying degrees of enthusiasm about the idea. If I didn't do a good job and they don't want to publish, I'm like, well, okay. That's fortunate. But if they do want to publish, up it goes. And yes, I know. I did a shitty job with that. That's why I didn't even fucking. I wasn't looking forward to publishing them. But there you go. I publish everyone that anybody says I can publish. I never have ever suppressed one purposefully that someone said I could publish. Did I make any arrangement with that one guy? Oh, that one guy? I don't know. Oh, you know what I did this morning? I felt bad. I feel bad. I don't feel bad. I feel stupid and embarrassed, basically. So I had a typing session at 7 this morning, and I was right here, just sort of. I'd come out here around 6:15. I'd taken a couple of Adderalls to sort of wake myself up a little bit, but it didn't. I needed more sleep, and I fell asleep. And then I woke up. It was like 7:09, and I quickly got on the thing, and then I said, I gotta reschedule this. I pulled a Tiffany. Oh my god. Hey, turtle guy. Yeah, I had a star. I can't tell that now. So, because I was just so tired, I could not stay awake. Oh, no, I haven't heard anything. I forgot about that. I was wrong. Turns out castrated cows fall into the category of ox? Hold on a second. How can getting your balls cut off turn you from a cow into an ox? Are they like doves and pigeons or something? Why do they have two different names if they're not different? I don't like that when that happens. Are they like doves and pigeons? Or are they rendered into oxen by their utility? That things that pull plows are oxen, and things that you eat or get milk out of are cows. Is it like that? Why can't I seem to chop wood with my ox? Another important question to ask. There's something fishy going on with these definitions. Well, maybe you should ask them more questions. I am such a silly man. I have got to be history's silliest man. Okay, I gotta have to go because I kind of think I should poo before I start the session. It feels like it's ready, so I should poo before I start the session. And I got 9 minutes left. That's plenty of time to poo. So anyway, I better go do that. And then I'm gonna type Chris Tyne, and maybe she'll let us publish. And if she does, then you'll see that premiering this evening sometime. So, have a wonderful passage of time between now and when next I speak to you. Heat